Today I want to talk about Jimin's song and multiple of his songs being allegedly banned, and then we have V deleting some Instagram pictures and what people believe it means, and then V talks about a bad contract he had. So hey dumb, this is Dave. Decide hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, taste Blink merch, and let's go. A lot of international fans, like not in the US, use social media a little bit differently than we do here. This is why we had content like mukbangs, where we watch social media stars eat, and quite honestly, the fans are the real reason why the content even became a big genre, because so many people watched it, and naturally those who watch it are fans of the content, and then they make their own version and boom, the genre happens. The idea behind the content like an eating show and even videos where someone is posting them just studying for an hour is so you feel connected to another person. It's like you're eating or studying with someone, and that's a fun thing to do. I personally love watching these videos as someone who often works alone at home. The study with me videos are great for me. Celebrities eventually decide to also do content like this, and thus K-pop stars have reality shows now too, but it's not the same as the type of reality shows you see in the US. The US reality shows are overly produced, most of the time heavily scripted, so there's a story and dramatized with music, and then of course overly edited to make it even more dramatic and interesting. This is not a bad thing necessarily, and they're fun to watch for that reason, but people tune into Korean reality shows to see their favorite idol be human and do human things. You won't typically watch a K-pop star's reality show unless you're already a fan of them. Shows like In the Soup, which is a reality show where K-pop stars go into the forest and live there for a few days. We get to see them play cards, swim, cook, and do a lot of fun stuff. In the Soup Friendcation is one where we see Taeyang and his actor friends all come together and live in a forest for a few days. I felt like it was almost like a pilot to see if the audience liked the idea of Taeyang and actor friends making a show together. And since it did well, we now had a sort of spin-off called Ginny's Kitchen. I'm going to be posting that show on Patreon eventually, and we've already done In the Soup Friendcation, which you can stream now. So if you're interested in fangirling and having fun with me, please check out the Patreon link below, and there's currently a $1 tier that is open. Hope to see you there. Lee Seo-jin is an actor, and he is running a franchise in Mexico, and they turned it into a show and invited Taeyang to be a part of it. It is a reality show, so it's not like a fake restaurant they're running, and Korean shows are not super scripted. I can't say for sure that it's not scripted at all, but definitely less, it seems. Taeyang worked so hard in the episode, cooking and preparing food, and so at the end of the show, he was exhausted and sat in the back of the kitchen to talk. Taeyang seemed so tired and said that he wanted to go back to Korea. He later explained that he received a fraudulent or bad contract when signing on to the show. I don't think he was referring to the contract actually being bad, but more so that Taeyang did not realize how hard the job was going to be. My family was very entrepreneurial. They don't run any businesses now, but they did when they were younger. So I've watched them do that. I've also worked at restaurants before as well. So to say I have the utmost respect for anyone in that industry is an understatement. You want the restaurant to be busy, so you have a job, and also the restaurant does well. But then when it is busy, you feel like you're gonna die. It's always fun to see what the boys are up to, even though they're taking a break as a group right now. Someone we should be looking forward to now and diverting our attention to is Jimin. He is in the midst of his rollout for his solo album and will be doing a lot of promotion for it. One thing that record labels like to do is submit the album or specific song that have done well or believed to do well to either radio or music shows. Radio obviously so they can get a big release and the song can get plays on the radio. Music shows are so the artists can perform these songs. KBS is definitely one of the leading shows for K-pop artists to perform their songs in Korea. It was reported by several news sites that allegedly a bunch of Jimin's songs on his album Face cannot be aired on KBS or deemed unfit. They're basically banned from broadcasting. I don't know how the news finds out which songs are banned, but this is what is being reported. Take it as you will. This happens for a really simple reason. Some songs either have too much cursing, American songs get banned all the time because of drug references, and usually Korean songs would get banned just due to the nature of the topics of the song. So things like suicide or things that would get banned for broadcast. This is why a lot of K-pop songs would just allude to a deeper meaning. They would maybe hint at it in the music video or something like that rather than the lyrics have any controversial words. That way, of course, the video won't be able to be streamed, but the song can still get radio play and things like that. If you are freaking out and kind of sad that Jimin must be upset over that, don't be, and let me explain why. BTS is not unfamiliar with this idea that their songs get banned. Many of their songs were about topics that, quite frankly, a lot of rookie groups who just debuted usually stay away from. Very dark topics of domestic abuse, suicide, and violence. It's not that the boys were unfamiliar with this idea that if they made songs like that, it would get banned. They knew. They did it anyway because it was worth talking about and no one else was. The same way I think Jimin knew that his song Face Off was not eligible for broadcast, and actually it's believed it has nothing to do with the topic of the song, but just that the song has a lot of cursing. So the song was never intended for broadcasting. Songs for commercial use are known to cut back on cursing or censor those things. Jimin did not care about that specific song getting promotion because likely it would not be a lead single. And it's okay if one or two songs don't get promotion because they can still be album songs. And funny enough, radio and TV promotion really doesn't even do much if the songs are bad. The songs that break records and do very well are carried by the fans, not because they get a ton of radio or TV promotion. And oftentimes, there are songs on an album that perform very well just because people like the raw art of the song, even though it would never get mainstream attention. So it's not a bad thing. It goes to show us that the songs on the album will be real and not curated specifically to get radio play. There's definitely albums and songs that were made specifically to be fun and have radio play. I think songs like Dynamite by BTS or Butter were just made to be fun songs that are happy and make people happy. But of course, as a dynamic artist group like BTS, you should also have songs like that, and then also songs that are more meaningful and raw that may get banned. People thought that was weird. People also thought that Taeyang was shading his company recently when he deleted some things on his Instagram. I want to talk about it. I think when the boys do anything, there's a lot of speculation on what it could mean. If you check on Taeyang's Instagram account, you'll notice a lot of Taeyang older photos were missing, and specifically photos from the Permission to Dance concert, and maybe some professional studio photos as well. He also changed his profile picture recently to a black and white photo. Now, of course, most people's theories are pretty sane and typically talk about him preparing for an album release and working on sort of rebranding a bit. Since the album is about God knows what, he needs to start teasing that image, especially since his Instagram was never like a mood board like RM's or J-Hope's. And while I love RM and J-Hope's Instagram page, it's very beautiful to look at, I would advise people to not do that actually, because it limits your creativity, and posting things like that make you happy. These little happiness posts are what make you more likely to post more often. So then you have people like Taeyang and Jungkook who don't post as much because they feel a bit pressure to post more photos that don't follow a theme or an aesthetic. But when comebacks and things like that happen, Taeyang is definitely more inclined to delete concert photos and moments that are not professional photo shoots and not related to a specific theme. So that theory makes a lot more sense. Other theories, like since it was at the Permission to Dance concert and it was with BTS, Taeyang deleting those was confirmation that he no longer wants to work with BTS, or even people saying that Taeyang is going to speak out against HYBE. I think people so heavily think that Taeyang hates the company, but it's just not true. It's not an accurate narrative. BTS had an opportunity to not renew their contract. They already went through their debut contract and then re-signed allegedly with one of the best deals in K-pop. So it's just a theory that makes no sense. Taeyang is also not a hypocrite. Taeyang also has said multiple times that BTS is 7, and he asked everyone to love all of them equally. The members not only have plans of reuniting and coming back together, hopefully by 2025, they plan to come back with HYBE. I think a lot of people think that HYBE mistreats the members and specifically V, so they're kind of just hoping that V will speak up about the company and leave. But as I said, he has made a conscious decision to keep the contract with HYBE and keep going. I think also the fact that HYBE's chairman Bang PD talked about how BTS may not reunite in 2025 if anything happens made people think that something will happen. But Bang PD is just covering his bases and not trying to promise anything if there's a slight chance the reunion could get delayed. And the fact that Taeyang changed his profile picture to a professional photo that likely HYBE's staff took would show that he is still preparing to release music through HYBE and is still working with their team. The narrative makes no sense, and I think people like to think that there's drama between the boys and the company, but there isn't. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos. A link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.